will global talent be abolished? No, that's my answer. Lots of my clients actually forward some of articles to me. Most of them are actually copied from Financial Review or translated from Financial Review. And of course, they did not indicate where they reference, what the reference from, which is most of social media. They don't have any, liability for that. They just simply copy and paste and into their social platform. So if you have ever read this Financial Review, you understand they put two key elements here. One is the global talent, another one is business visa. Now the problem with business visa, this is not first time that it has actually expressed everywhere, including the government. It is that the business visa, the requirement for them to become a permanent visa, it's actually minimal. For 188 investor visa, the only thing they need to become Australia permanent resident is that they keep invest into, now it's 2.25, previously it was 1.5, which means they did not required to pay tax. They did not require to run a company. Now for the same 188C, and which is 5 million, it doesn't require them to do anything at all, which just means that funds, 5 million, probably going to invest into US market, which is likely, right? Now for 188, the criticism here is we have been actually attracting very small business owners because the requirement is really minimal. 800,000 of turnover compared to any of the industry now, it's minimal, especially we have a lot of technology companies that you can easily to achieve this. So in the past few years, they have been really attracting small business owners and they pay minimal tax because the permanent visa stream for 188, you do not require to pay tax. You only need to demonstrate you have 300,000 of turnover, which is a very small coffee shop should able to achieve this. Now because of that, the government analyzed data. They say, okay, you know what? They are not paying tax. What's the problem? We're gonna put constraint on that. When they become permanent resident, I want them to become a taxpayer. Now this will be the change. Okay, some of them, if you can't, which means they will have another tax point system into the permanent stream. Now, this has been a long time, okay? So because I've dealt quite a lot and luckily lots of our clients already got permanent visa. Now, my only goal here is to help candidates to get permanent visa under whatever program is available there. All right, now coming back to global talent. What's the problem with the global talent? You may be aware that this is not the first time they changed policy. In the past, they have actually changed 5 times. Some of them have changed through the policy, others just changed by announcement, as simple as that. The latest change, the policy change, was the removal of PhD graduate waiver of salary requirement. In the past, a PhD graduate in Australia can, if they demonstrate they're about to graduate or they're about to graduate within 6 months, that this about to graduate were able to meet income requirement automatically. Now, this was actually stated in policy. Now, quietly, they removed this policy, meaning, PhD graduate, if you want to access global talent program, you have to demonstrate you can earn 162,000 as well. Now, that will be the question of someone, if you got permanent role as a lecturer, maybe you do have the opportunity, right? That's likely. If you get 120,000 now, the chance will be high. However, if you've been just a research fellow and you don't have a permanent role from a university, that the government will just say that you are unlikely to achieve 162,000. Therefore, this actually, this is first instant change. The second change, of course, ministerial direction changed. Initially, there was no prioritization. Now the prioritization gives priority to candidates from offshore, meaning you actually living outside Australia. Now this another killing clause, right? However, this kind of change was not implemented in policy. They put it into ministerial direction. All right, some other change like Hong Kong candidates. Initially, this is what's actually put in ministerial direction. Now the new ministerial direction replaced the older one, saying no, everybody receive the same treatment. However, this is not announced at all, right? They will just tell you after you submit your and then you can actually find somewhere media report on that. No, so there's no prioritization to anything who's actually from Hong Kong, holding Hong Kong passport, British overseas passport, whatever, who they working in Hong Kong. Now this is change, right? And of course, that's another change of what's the requirement of some within sectors. Initially, the government proposed 8 sectors. Now it's 10 sectors. Now they say any sectors you can apply. Now they change back, say, you know what? I'll just want someone who's have a shining background, doing anything in priority sectors, anything that's within that 10 sectors again. Now, of course, that is exceptional, and then we always work with candidates with exceptional background, quite different, maybe not 100% in line with whatever it's here. But the problem here is that they change too rapidly, and you do not know which one is actually current. Okay, now after the financial review proposed that that's a potential change in the amendment to global talent, everybody think that it's going to be harsh. All right, I always tell my clients the best time for you to apply anything that you think you can get it was yesterday, and the second best time it's now. Do not wait until 1st July, because when the market is panicking, that's a good time for you to get in, because when the market is panicking, they just stopped. And if you do the same thing as other people, and you lose the opportunity. The same thing when I proposed in 2019, when I posted the first video in August 2019, nobody believed it. Well, nobody believed. They said, oh my God, this is, even I told them, look, we have very different installments, and that is the risk you're gonna have to take, and that's a very small percentage compared to their own overall asset. Lots of people declined. I also told candidate from Hong Kong, of course, that this is Tom. Probably you need to get tickets. Or some of them did not go ahead. Now again, then someone asked me, "Oh, should I wait for July? Is that the best time?" When I told them you're eligible right now, and they just take forever time to really think, because for them it's taking risk. Now, migration up to this date, it's really different to the migration in the past, where you have travel across the sea from England to Australia, from England to from Ireland to USA, right? That risk is high because you don't know the territory, you don't have information, you don't know the people, and don't know the first arrivals, right? James Cook, first arrivals, who actually taking great risk, and then you're probably not going to make it because of food issue, because of viruses, because of whatever, right? You don't know the people, the native people living there, they're gonna kill you or not. But nowadays, migration is just so simple. Goodness me, everything is done online, and then when you do the application to me, you done online, and then what I'm doing online too. So, and then someone who's got permanent visa, they can just keep to themselves, because you won't have any visa stamp on your passport. The only thing you need to do when you just actually leave your own country, and then you say, hey, I'm Australian permanent resident. If they ask you why you're coming to Australia, just tell them, hey, I got permanent visa. There you go, and that's it. And you don't need to tell anybody, so you can keep it discreet. You do not need to tell anyone. So, and then really, I interview lots of people. You can imagine from 2019. We have started working on global talent, and I have interviewed lots of people. I realize someone who can make to the top are actually someone who's very decisive. Other people take whatever time, they just make decision. Even the actual risk, it just takes some time off. I need your time, really. I can't make it up. I need some of your time, and I need effort. Well, if you haven't done it, and the time is gone anyway, right? The time is gone anyway. You can decide how to really organize your own time management. And then the other risk will be just about some financial risk, which I consider is really small, because that's very different installments. You don't need to pay anything in full. You pay 1%, some percentage of first stage, and then when you receive invitation, you pay second stage, and then when you got permanent visa, you pay third stage. Really, and even for that, even I told them, look, that's Kickstart. They'll just think, take forever. Now, if you come to me saying whether the global talent program will be actually harder, I'll tell you, it'll be a lot easier for a lot of clients. Okay, a lot of easier because they make it straightforward, and that it's no personal involvement. That it's a very detailed policy interpretation. But for some others, might be a disadvantage for you because the time it's already gone. The global talent wants to focus something else. Now, over the global talent, again, in summary, it won't be abolished. That some kind of policy will actually be favorable to some of clients, and others probably not so much. That business visa, however, will have a major change because it has as a problem, right? And then, but of course, if you meeting the requirement, if you that person they want you to do, right? Young and you have a good qualification, good English, and that you have a really reasonable, good size of a business and wealth, and the work you do may have the potential benefits to Australia, then you're likely to be invited and get permanent visa anyway. So it will not affect you. But if you're a small business owner, you're not able to show, and then age, again, the requirement of the age will actually have a big factor in business visa. And the potential, you will need to sometimes, come to do the business and then pay the tax. Now, that's it for today's video. If you have any questions, I encourage you to communicate with me directly. I do, however, only provide some advice to very limited clients due to the amount of work I have now. If I do not provide you feedback, maybe you are not eligible, and maybe I can't help you. Because I'm a specialist, I don't do all of the visas because I want to focus. Although I understand 99 of the visa subclasses, I don't do anything. Okay, keep in touch. Below that's a link. You can fill in information. I'll get back to you if I can do it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.